Welcome to this video. In this tutorial, I will show you how to sterilize bottles and nipples for safe feed properly. This is an essential step in caring for your baby, and I'll be walking you through it step by step. What type of sterilization methods are available for safe feeding? There are several different sterilization methods available to ensure safe feeding experience. Boiling is one of the most commonly used methods, as it is simple and cost-effective to properly boil objects. Place them in a pot of boiling water for at least 5 minutes to kill any bacteria or viruses. Another method is chemical sterilization, which involves using a chemical sanitizer, such as bleach or quaternary ammonium compounds, to disinfect the objects. Chemical sterilization should be done carefully and according to directions on the label of the product being used. Steam sterilizers are also available commercially, which use high-pressure steam to kill any germs and bacteria on items. How often should I sterilize my baby's feeding equipment? It is recommended to sterilize all of your baby's feeding equipment, including bottles, nipples, and breast pump parts, before each use. This can be done in one of two ways: boiling or using a steam sterilizer. Boiling involves submerging the items in boiling water for 5 minutes and allowing them to cool down before handling. Steam sterilizers use steam to kill the bacteria and come in electric or microwave versions. No matter which sterilizing method you choose, make sure to carefully follow the instructions provided. Additionally, bottles should be washed with hot soapy water after each use and then rinse it thoroughly. How long should I sterilize my baby's feeding equipment? It is important to sterilize all feeding equipment, including bottles and nipples, at least once a day. If your baby has been sick, or if you notice any discoloration or buildup in the bottle parts, it is best to sterilize them more than once a day. Sterilizing can be done either with boiling water or using chemical sterilizing solutions. Boiling water sterilization should last for at least 3 minutes, and a chemical sterilizing solution should be used as directed on the packaging. Be sure to discard any leftover liquid after each use and replace bottles, nipples, teats, and other feeding accessories regularly to ensure that your baby is drinking from clean equipment. What are the risks of not sterilizing my baby's feeding equipment? Not sterilizing your baby's feeding equipment poses a lot of risks. Not only can these items become contaminated with bacteria, but they can also be dangerous for your baby if not properly sanitized. Bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella can live on surfaces and in liquids, and if ingested by your baby, these germs can cause illnesses such as diarrhea, vomiting, and fever. Additionally, items like breast pumps can contain viruses or fungi that could be passed on to your baby if not sterilized. Finally, some objects such as bottle nipples can wear out over time and develop cracks, which bacteria can begin to grow. What are the best practices for sterilizing my baby's feeding equipment? It is important to ensure your baby's feeding equipment is sterilized properly and on a regular basis in order to reduce the risk of infection. Here are some best practices for ensuring your baby's feeding equipment is kept clean and safe. Wash all feeding items with hot, soapy water after each use. Use a brush or an old toothbrush to scrub away any residue. Rinse all items with clean water and air dry them on a clean, non-porous surface. Do not use a towel as it may spread bacteria. Sterilize the feeding equipment after each use by either boiling it in hot water for 5 minutes or using a steam sterilizer. When using a dishwasher, select the hottest cycle and place any feeding items on the top shelf to reduce contamination from other dishes. Do not reuse bottles or nipples between feedings, as bacteria can build up quickly in them. How do I know when my baby's feeding equipment has been properly sterilized? The best way to know if your baby's feeding equipment has been properly sterilized is to look for signs of steam. When you are using a stovetop sterilizer, the steam should be visible from the lid. In an electric or microwave sterilizer, there may be visible steam emerging from the sides and top when it is opened. Additionally, Once your baby's feeding equipment is removed from the sterilizer, it should feel hot to the touch. If the bottles and other utensils don't seem hot, they may not have been properly sterilized. Are there any other safety tips I should keep in mind when feeding my baby? Absolutely. While sterilizing is a great start, there are other safety measures to take when feeding your baby. Here are some guidelines. Wash your hands before you feed or prepare food for your baby. Disinfect all surfaces and utensils used for the preparation of food or drink for the baby. Clean any bottles, lids, teats, and other feeding accessories between each use. Make sure all food is cooked thoroughly before serving it to your baby. Avoid unpasteurized dairy products and juice. Do not leave formula in a bottle for more than 2 hours at room temperature or 1 hour if served at a temperature higher than room temperature. Discard any leftovers from your baby's meal. Do not reheat and serve later. Avoid serving sweets, honey, and raw eggs to infants younger than 12 months of age. Store food in sealed containers or jars and keep it away from pests. Discard any expired food items. Always check the temperature of the food before serving it to your baby. Food should not be too hot or cold. By following these guidelines, you can keep your baby safe and ensure that they get all the nutrition they need. It is important to take extra care when feeding young children as their bodies are still developing. Remember, sterilize for a safe feed. If you have any questions or would like to share tips of your own, please leave us a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update from our channel. Thanks for watching.